Collide stars Nicholas Hoult, Felicity Jones, Anthony Hopkins, and Ben Kingsley, and is the story of a man who's just kind of hanging out in Cologne, Germany. He doesn't really have any friends, and his family sucks, so he's just kind of, dealing drugs. And then he meets Felicity Jones at a bar, and then there's like a montage where they fall in love. It's about 1.5 minutes long, and it goes over the course of about a month, and we learn that they love each other now. But she's kind of sick, so he has to get money for an operation. So he's got to go do the drug thing again, but it goes wrong, and now he's running around, and it's dangerous, and there's people chasing him. Look, I went and saw this movie. I had absolutely no idea what it was about. It was coming out this weekend, and I love movies. I love talking about movies, and so I like a lot of the stars in this movie. In fact, the main 4 leads in this movie, I like all of them. So I was like, all right, at least we have that. I went to this film not even knowing the plot. I had no idea what it was about. It's really bad. This movie came out last year in a ton of countries, and it's just now coming out in America. So that should really tell you everything you need to know. From the opening scene alone, I was very concerned about the amount of ADR that was in the film. Quite a bit of audio dubbing, quite a bit, and it continues throughout the entire film. Almost all of Felicity Jones' performance sounds as if it's from someone else. It barely even sounds like her. It probably is. I mean, she's a big enough star now. She's in fucking Rogue One, so I mean, I don't think they would hire another actress to do her voice, but it's bad ADR. The camera will often drift in the middle of a close-up to other things in the background away from the actors' faces. Direction like that is filled throughout this entire movie. I have no idea what people were thinking. I have absolutely no clue why Nicholas Hoult, Felicity Jones, Anthony Hopkins, and Ben Kingsley are in this film. Especially Felicity Jones. Her character is awful. She's someone who just is sick, and then she becomes a damsel in distress. That's the entire purpose of her character. Nicholas Hoult has to run around and try to get this money for her to have some operation, and a lot of people are chasing after him, and it leads to a few okay chase sequences. That's about the best this movie has to offer. There's some okay car chase scenes that aren't complete shit. There are some good things you can glean from this movie, though, particularly Ben Kingsley's character. He's fairly embarrassing in this movie, but that being said, when you walk into a room and it's Ben Kingsley with this insane accent just sitting on a pile of women watching the John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis aerobics movie called Perfect, I don't know what else you could possibly ask for.
You in?
Yeah, we're in.
Hang on, wait, no. What is it? Is it dangerous?
What kind of question is that?
I mean, Ben Kingsley has an entire monologue dedicated to how much he adores Burt Reynolds. He actually says you could take a match and strike it on Burt Reynolds' body. What the fuck? Anthony Hopkins has a sequence where he imitates Sylvester Stallone, so there's that. I really am actually kind of blown away by this film because in one part, it's trying to be a stereotypical action film with car chases and running. Then it's trying to be a romantic film where you really care about this couple, despite the fact that the entire film's emotional motivation is told in a 1.5 minute montage that's barely good enough to set up a romance in a short film, let alone a feature film. And then you have Ben Kingsley and Anthony Hopkins in incredibly embarrassing performances. This film is kind of an amalgamation of awesome. It's just all the types of awesome I don't think they were going for. The film cares so little to set up this central romance that we have expositional dialogue like, we've been seeing each other every day for a month now. Oh, yeah, it's true. Maybe we should move in together. In regards to the action sequence part of the film, it takes about an hour before we actually get an action scene that's worth a damn, and it's okay. It's that typical PG-13 action editing where things are cut away from very quickly, and there's some really awful, incomprehensible CGI car crashes at one point, but there is a pretty impressive sequence on the Autobahn. In fact, the original title of this movie was actually Autobahn, which leads me to believe that the entire reason they made this movie was to have a big epic car chase on the Autobahn, because you can go really fast. I mean, that's really the only thing I can think of that would explain why this movie got made. And no one in this movie gives a shit about security cameras. Anthony Hopkins' character is supposed to be an upstanding member of society who's never been caught in the drug trade, which is what he's actually involved in. And there's no proof of it, despite the fact that people are kind of like, maybe this is a thing. You learn that towards the end where there's this cop who's like, yeah, we can't bring this guy down. But for whatever reason, he's doing all this shit in front of security cameras at gas stations and other places throughout the entire film. I mean, when you got the guy on film shooting up a gas station, I would say that's fairly incriminating, but that's just me. This film had no idea what to focus on. It's trying to be a romance, it's trying to be an action movie, it's trying to be a film with really awkward dialogue that seems completely out of place, and two hilariously bad performances by Hopkins and Kingsley, two incredible actors that I highly admire, and I have no idea what they're doing here. I feel like they're both just so far along in their careers that they're just like, whatever, fuck it, we're gonna take a role and have some fun, I guess, because that's really the only thing I can think to explain what they're doing in this film. Collide is an awful, awful movie with one pretty cool car chase on the Autobahn. I'm gonna give it a D-. Also, I do want to let you know that my promotion with Atom Tickets is still going on. If you use my name, Chris, and download that app, you can get $5 off your order for the rest of the entire year, which is incredible. They have so many amazing perks on this app. You can set up a group to go to a film and have everyone pay separately, which completely gets rid of the whole IOU thing, which, as we all know, sucks. You can also pay for concessions ahead of time, so you can skip the line. It's a very, very cool app for reserving movie tickets and having everything just go a lot smoother. So please do download Atom Tickets, that's ATOM. You can use it on your Android or your iPhone and use my name, Chris, as the coupon code and get $5 off your order for the rest of the year. Guys, thank you so much, as always, for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and as always, if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.